True talk.
Drew Marvelous here, your Million G Gamer. Welcome everybody to my favorite games of 2019. As anybody who follows me will know, I am an avid achievement hunter and play a massive amount of games each and every year. Not just your normal kind of games, there are lots of independent games, they're weird, they're wonderful, we find some hidden gems, we find some steaming turds, but it's a brilliant adventure that we go on each and every year. And this list will be unlike anybody else's list. It's entirely my own opinion. You won't find any Call of Duties here, you won't find many mainstream games here, or so-called mainstream games here. You will probably find some games you've never even heard of, but these are the 15 games I had the most fun with in 2019. Hope you all enjoy. Number 15. Dark Quest 2 came out in February of 2019 and delivers a fantastic slice of turn-based RPG action. It's based on the board game Hero Quest, where you can play as some classic archetypes such as the warrior, the druid, the priest, the dwarves, and it offers multiple branching paths through the main story onto side quests, which will give you artifacts that will help you fight the big bad at the end. It's a really good game. It doesn't reinvent anything, but it's just a solid turn-based RPG and deserving to be on this list. Number 14. Narcos Rise of the Cartel came out in November 2019 as another turn-based strategy game offering two full campaigns, the DEA and the cartel itself. What I really liked about this game was usually it was you move one of your units, they move one of their units, which is quite different to what we normally get, and also it kept you in the action by the Overwatch attacks. You actually controlled the crosshairs yourselves and actually the little arcade section shooting the opponent. Number 13. Smoke and Sacrifice released in January 2019 and completely blew me away from the onset. Beautiful graphics, beautiful music. The artwork is absolutely amazing in this game. The storytelling from start to finish, a world under a world, the mysterious society built on lies. It's a story we've seen before but done really well on this occasion. It's got combat, it's got crafting, it's got bosses. It's just amazing, and most of all it's on Games Pass, so if you've got Games Pass, play this game now. Number 12. River City Girls released in September 2019 and in my opinion is the best side-scrolling brawler available on the Xbox One. Part of the River City Ransom franchise, you play as Kyoko and Misako in search of their boyfriends. A very simple task you may believe, but it takes you through these 6 zones of River City, beating the hell out of everybody you encounter. Loads of exciting boss battles, moves, techniques. The only sad thing is it's only local multiplayer, no online, but it's an amazing brawler, and if you like that genre, get it now. Number 11. GotY released on the 27th of December 2019 and is a really intriguing adventure game where you play as a father and daughter who are separated by this weird time device which freezes the entire world. And playing mainly as the father, you have to move people who are frozen in time and objects to manipulate your limited objects so you can get this cogs which will repair the damaged timepiece and hopefully reunite him with his daughter. A very intriguing title and well worth checking out. Number 10. The Adventures of Alina Temple is a side-scrolling platform game that released in September of 2019 and got a significant update in December of the same year, which increased the amount of temples and adventures on the game from 2 to 3, which is an amazing value to say the game is only £4.19 to actually purchase, so that's probably about $5 in US. Now, the level design in this game and the main reason it's on this list is fantastic. If this game had come out in the 80s, the era that it's paying homage to, this game would have been up there. This developer would have been a rock star of the time. It would have been up there with Jet Set Willy, Dynamite Dan, Technician Ted, games such as that. If you know what I'm if you recognize the names of those titles, you'll know what I'm talking about. Each room is a battle to get the coins, get new objects. It's just so amazing, and the expansion that came out offers another brilliant temple which also embraces the achievement community who discovered workarounds to some of the game's most difficult achievements, but the developer, rather than patching it out and being a big meanie, kind of embraced that and actually it influenced the way the new temple came out, because there's a whole new cheat menu now that you can access, which makes the game's difficult achievements extremely easy, and you can play the game as you want. Fantastic stuff. Number 9. Vaporward came out in April 2019 and is a grid-based single-player, single-character dungeon crawler RPG seen from a first-person perspective. It's kind of like in a steampunk kind of world where you play as a unknown character who doesn't know who they are, doesn't know where they are. They only know they have to go into this mysterious tower to find out what's happened. And it's a really excellent game to actual play through casually. Unfortunately, the achievement list is balls-horrific hard. I mean, nobody on True Achievements has completed it, and usually if nobody on True Achievements has completed it, you know it's a difficult game. Nevertheless, it is a really fun game. You can pick from a number of classes, there's a number of weapons you can choose from, and it's all done in kind of real time. But when you actually do an attack, for example, it is a dice roll behind the scenes, whether it hits or misses, etc. But it is a fun game nevertheless, and an exciting adventure. Definitely worth your time, but don't be expecting to complete it for the full 1000 game score, because as I say, to date nobody has done. It is so ridiculously difficult. There's a speed run, there's a minimal damage run, and on the hardest difficulty setting, the game literally destroys you. Number 8. Far Lone Sails released in April of 2019, and it's just one of those games that's just a pure pleasure to play. You play as a mysterious character who has this vehicle. All we know about the character is that they're leaving their home. They have to get to the coast. There seems to have been some kind of apocalyptic event, and that's completely ravaged the land. And throughout the entire adventure, you don't encounter another living soul. You literally have yourself in your vehicle, which you have to take care of, you have to maintain, you have to operate by releasing steam from it when it gets too hot, the engine gets too hot, for example. You have to take advantage of wind when you get a sail. And how the game progresses is you've got to constantly feed your vehicle fuel, keep it cool, keep it in a good state of repair, and then you will reach obstacles which prevent your progress. So you have to get out and do mile platforming sections, which usually lead to you finding a new part for your vehicle, which helps you in the forthcoming sections. It's just a visual treat, an audio treat. It's just one of those games that's just amazing to play. It's just so much fun. So if you haven't experienced it, please go check it out now. It's definitely worth the time. Number 7. GotY released in October of 2019 and is one of the best games of the year for me. It probably went under most people's radar and just got dismissed as a walking simulator. And whilst yes, there's a lot of walking in the game, it's by no means a walking simulator. And I admit myself, I thought it was when I first started playing it, but after the first hour, you soon realize it's not. The best way to categorize it is it's Skyrim with no combat. The world is amazing in this game. You get shipwrecked on the island of GotY, which you were heading to anyway to pay memory and respect to your mother, who wanted you to visit 4 locations and paint them for her because you're an artist. And painting becomes a big part of this game, as it's the means of it you earn money. But ignoring the main quest, you can do this multitude of side quests and meet a absolute fantastic cast of colourful characters, all who are impeccably voiced, impeccably written. Some of the quests are bizarre, some of the quests are quite sad, quite happy quests, unusual, mysterious, but all of them genuinely interesting, and you want to actually undertake doing these side quests for these characters. And it's just, the whole world is just brilliantly realized, and it's an island that if I would really love to visit if it was real. It's absolutely beautiful. It's only let down graphically by horrendous popping that does happen quite a lot with the foliage. It's a shame, and I think if they optimized it a bit better, that could be reduced and improved drastically, especially on the console like the Xbox One X. It shouldn't really be happening as much as it does. It does really detract from the game. That's the only negative I can really give it. But if you want a good 10-12 hour compelling adventure game with interesting characters, GotY is definitely one you need to check out. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but definitely in my opinion, one of the best this year. Number 6. Children of Morta came out in October of 2019 and tells the tale of the Bergson family, who, whilst trying to deal with the normal day-to-day trials and tribulations of family life, have the burden of being destined to continuously fight the corruption that befalls the land. It deals with love, life, death, the joy of birth of a new child, and how they're going to be forced into this family Destiny. The action itself is amazingly well handled. The dungeons are randomly generated, so it stays reasonably fresh. The combat styles of all the different members of the Bergson family are vastly different. We have like sword and shield, you have a mage, you have an archer, you have a thief who uses quick daggers, you have an unarmed master, you name it, it's there, and it all looks beautifully stunning, sounds magnificent, and it's just a fantastic game. And it's, like I say, it's on Games Pass. Check it out now if you do have Games Pass. It's fantastic and definitely one of the best of the year. Number 5. Found Together came out in January of 2019 and is not generally a kind of game I go for. I usually don't like these simulating kind of games, but the fact that this is so high on the yearly list shows how good this one is. It completely changed my viewpoint on the game, and just shows how well they can do it when they take it away from the dreary real life simulation ones that we see year in, year out from certain companies. This one is in a fully realized cartoon world. You can plant crops, you can raise animals, you can grow trees, you can build buildings and such. You can create a town if you so wish. People can join your farm to help you. You can join other people's farms to help them. It's just so much fun to play, and the visuals are amazing. It's such a bright, vibrant cartoon world. The sound is amazing too. It's just one of those games again which you just, when you play it, it's just a pleasure to play, and then when you look at the clock you realise the couple of hours have passed by and you've just been fully entertained. They're continuously supporting the game with events as well. The only other thing I would like to see is more achievements added to the game. Please add more achievements. Great game. Number 4. Operency of a Stolen Sun is another grid-based RPG that came out in March of 2019. Well, this one is set in a fantasy setting, and you control a group of adventurers which expands as you progress through the story. The world is fantastically realized. Each level or each section is a completely different locale to the other. From watery dungeons to flowery mazes to a treetop in the sky to a fantasy castle where the big bad is living. And the combat in this one is handled in more traditional turn-based encounter fare. You encounter a creature, you go to a battle screen, and you take turns to have a fight in traditional JRPG fashion. It is a brilliant adventure game, a fantastic story and plot, brilliantly voiced, brilliantly visualized, and just a fantastic experience from start to finish. And you will get a good 30, 35, 40 hours out of this game. It is definitely worth checking out. One of the fantastic and best games of the year. Number 3. Remnant from the Ashes came out in August of 2019. It's best described as Dark Souls with guns. It is a fantastic experience. I'm not usually one for these Dark Souls kind of games, but kind of gradually getting into them. This one was really difficult in places, but once you learn the mechanics and you persist, as with all kind of games like this, it clicks and it just becomes a fantastic experience. The random generation of the worlds helps as well. No two playthroughs will be the same. You will meet different bosses, you collect different items, you will completely encounter different locales, and whilst the main overarching story remains the same, your route through it from one person or one player to another will vastly different. And the good thing is you can reset all this and play it all again and get different random generation. Such a fantastic experience and deserves its high place on the list of this year. Number 2. Agent A, A Puzzle in Disguise, arrived in August of 2019, and it is a absolutely outstanding episodic puzzle game. Luckily for us, we got the game in its entirety, episodes 1 to 5, all in one go. It's beautifully visualized. It's kind of cel-shaded, kind of comic book kind of look to it, where you have to play as Agent A looking to take down Ruby LaRouge, who's the member of the opposing villainous secret agents who have been assigned to assassinate agents A through F, I think, and I think only you and one other agent remain. You've infiltrated Ruby's island, and the puzzles just keep coming at you from screen to screen, and they're all logical, they're all fun. The achievement list is fun and exciting to actually figure out. I had so much fun figuring out this achievement list. I mean, the first person to complete the game was really fun also, and just trying to figure out some of the more obscure puzzles that the game threw at you was amazing. It's definitely worth a check out. It's a pretty easy completion now that these guides out there, so if you are wanting a quick easy 1000 gamer score in about 4-5 hours max, then definitely check this one out. But a fantastic game and one of my favorites of 2019. Number 1. My favorite game of 2019 came out in May, and it is A Plague's Tale: Innocence. This game was truly head and shoulders above everything else I played this year. It just came out of nowhere. I wasn't interested in the game in the slightest. I thought, yeah, let's give it a go, and boy, what a game. You play as Macia Darun, whose life just gets completely turned upside down, and she becomes the protector of her younger brother, who had been housed away by their family. They didn't know why, because he was always told he was sick, but that becomes the overarching. He's not really sick, he's special. He's got something inside him which helps him control this plague that's going on through the land, this plague of rats which are all consuming and just destroy everything in their path. Throw on that the Spanish Inquisition, who are coming after the family as well from the start. I mean, the opening act is bloody, is gory, is horrific, is heart-wrenching, and all this told through immaculate visuals, impeccable sound design. It is just a sight to behold. The game is equal parts action, equal parts exploration, equal parts stealth, and each part has been, lavished with the care it deserved. It doesn't feel tacked on. It works. It just works. You just flow from one kind of section to another seamlessly. The cast of characters that build up during the gameplay is truly stellar as well. You really feel the loss when one of them makes a sacrifice towards the end, and you really care for this group of individuals, which is very rare in a video game, and you really do hate the villains. You really do want them to get their comeuppance, and boy, when they do, it's just, you're just cheering for the heroes, even though it's a gruesome death for them. You're just cheering for the villains to go down, and boy, do they go down in a blaze of glory. This is truly a fantastic game. This is truly the best game of the year, and the fact that it wasn't on the Game of the Year awards list, I was just absolutely gobsmacked, especially when I saw what was on there. I was just absolutely dumbfounded. This is up there with the praise that kind of Hellblade got back when that came out, and Asobo Studios have announced that there's going to be a sequel to this game. It's not going to come out till 2022, which is a long way away, but the quality of this game has been given as needs, then you can understand why it's going to take that long. They're not just going to smash a sequel out to make a fast buck, and I truly hope that the sequel lives up to this original. There's a rumor going around as well that this game will be coming to Game Pass both for PC and Xbox, so if it does and you have that service, once again, what an acquisition to go into that program. Amazing game. Definitely check this out. You probably can pick it up reasonably cheap right now as well, and again, if it goes into Game Pass and you have that service available to you, it's one of the best games to ever go into the service. So I hope you enjoyed my list of 15 best games of the year. My list will be vastly different to everybody else's list. There's no right and wrong to this list. It's all opinions and preferences, and these are just the 15 games that I enjoyed the most during this calendar year. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your continued support. I know it's been a while since I've been out putting content, but stay tuned for more regular content coming to the YouTube channel. And do remember, I do stream each and every night fantastic indie games on Xbox One over on my Twitch channel, which can be found in the description of this video.